Hello, good people of the world. Figured I wanted to start doing some yapping on the internet because there comes a time in every man's life where he realizes that he wants to do that, and here we are. Subject of the day: why the ocean is important. Um, People. All right, let's just start. So the ocean, everyone loves the ocean. It's water. It is a very large source of income for many countries, tourist attractions, fishing industries, uh, scientific research, all sorts of things. But despite all this, people, typically wealthy individuals in positions of power, have come to disrespect the ocean and all of its glory. That might be a bit strongly worded. Anyway, the reason the ocean is so important, even if if you even live in like Nebraska or somewhere landlocked, or like Poland, well, Poland's by the ocean, but like maybe Mongolia or like Sudan. Despite these countries being landlocked, the ocean is still very important to the well-being of these places. The ocean, it drives climate for the entire planet. Despite anything you've heard, climate change is real, very real, and it's a threat to all of us. Which might sound scary, but that doesn't mean there's nothing we can do. We're humans, and we are part of nature, whether we accept it or not. We are animals. We came from animals, and even though I would like to say I'm a man of science, there is most definitely some supernatural power which put us here. Of all the things I've learned, everything weaves together in perhaps the most beautiful tapestry the universe has ever seen in our planet. Every process, mathematical equation, like biological composition, everything is in some way related to everything else. And it is extremely, like, eye-opening. I don't know, but it's beautiful to see how we live, and like, life is a gift. Absolutely. All life. And it should not be treated lightly. So the ocean is the main source of all life on our planet. The ocean, people say it's not well explored, which is true, but we do know a good bit about it. But we can always learn more, we still struggle to understand and comprehend where we came from and why we are here, despite millennia of humans existing on this planet, generations of science and religion and speculation. But if we want to continue living, we have to keep what we have. And the ocean is the best place to start. Land, all life on Earth would not exist without it. Just take Europe, for example. So up somewhere in the North Sea, maybe a little bit to the northwest of Greenland, there's this huge underground waterfall, we'll call it. It's not really a waterfall, but it's a density change caused by the Gulf Stream cooling down and then becoming saltier, and all the water sinks. And then it goes back but the Gulf Stream, which is the current that runs along the east coast of America, goes up. So this is America, this is Europe. It goes up and across. It drives all climate in Europe and makes it habitable, which Quebec is about the same latitude as like the entire United Kingdom, but it's all snowy and no one likes it. And there's also French people there, but we're not going to get into that. Nothing against the French people. They're just amusing. Where was I? But yeah, with climate change, mostly corporations and industry being a factor of this, like no matter what people tell you, if you stop driving your car or like started recycling, that's gonna have a minimal effect compared to the millions of tons of carbon emissions produced by industries across the world, like automotive industries, cell phones, anything. Which, as much as I love to be alive in modern times, I do think, and like I feel I'm very grateful for the technology that is present today, and we all take advantage of and take for granted in many cases. I believe there needs to be a couple, like maybe regulations or at least more efforts to helping the planet. But yeah, the ocean. Oh yeah, well, going back to that whole current driving climate in Europe, many people might have heard this, but it has been. I mean, no one understands the ocean. No one actually knows what will happen. Like, when will it crash? When will it keep going? Despite all we do to destroy it, even though people act like, despite our active ignorance, um, or because of our active ignorance. But at some point, maybe it will stop, and that will cause at least some parts of Earth to go into another ice age. Potentially, no one actually knows for certain until it happens, and that could be generations away. Could be in 50 to 100 years. But anyway, ocean, very important, climate, weather. Like, people don't realize, I mean, weather, since we've been alive, there have been decreases in populations of ocean species. We're actually living in the middle of a mass extinction event right now. There are maybe, scientists debate it, like I think 6, maybe 7, but 6 including what is happening right now. And this is actually the most potent one, with the most species going extinct anyone has ever seen. But yeah, the ocean is life. Like, people say that, it sounds corny, but it's true. Without it, we wouldn't be here. There is a reason Earth is called the blue planet, and it's because of the ocean that we're able to survive. I mean, the atmosphere too, but I was reading a book recently, and it said that life on Earth may have originated in the deep sea around the hydrothermal vents and the great quantities of nutrients that come out of the Earth's core from these vents. Like, normally, like rift zones and stuff, there's a ton of like lava and gases that spew out, which create like nitrogen, phosphorus, and there's oxygen in the water. But despite what you think, there's great diversity in the deep sea, with like thousands of species we've yet to discover. Many of them small, but there is small as in microscopic, or like the size of my finger. But there's still life down there, and all life deserves respect. Like, I believe that life in general is, I don't know if sacred is the right word, but somewhat, like, just the existence of life is almost supernatural in and of itself. Like, nowhere else in the entire universe. Our existence is rarer than diamonds by a tenfold, if not many hundredfold. Like, we shouldn't even be here by all logical standards, but here we are, thriving and destroying our beautiful planet. Like, go listen to what David Attenborough has to say. He has a lot of good stuff to say about the ocean, and like why it is, like, all our hope is in, like, if we want to restore the planet, our hope is in the ocean. And like, it's gonna be very hard, because there's gonna be like many people rely on the ocean for income, and like killing fish, and like gaining hydrological power, as in like energy, but like, I don't know, many of it, fishing and pollution, overfishing and pollution is the main driving factors of decline in the sea, as well as carbon emissions causing the atmosphere to be oversaturated with carbon, which traps more heat from the sun, and really all of the heat goes into the ocean. And over the past maybe 50 years, it's risen by a degree or two Celsius, probably longer time period than that, but many species in the ocean are not, they don't have like homeostasis. They rely on the water temperature to keep their bodies functioning, and like the higher the higher the temperature of the water, the higher the rate of respiration and more energy. So fish become more lethargic and move less because they can't afford to expend energy. Yeah, I mean, I'm a college student and I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. And I believe it's very important for people to become aware of what is happening in the world. And the more you learn about like the sciences, and really the more you learn, the more you become aware, and the more you realize you don't know anything at all and nothing is actually set. We're just floating through a rock in space trying to figure out all we can, because what else can we do? Society's, I don't want to say fake because it's real, but it's a construct of our imaginations. Before people were people, we were animals, and once we gained consciousness, be it through supernatural powers or evolution, I mean, either one is a good candidate in my opinion, but we started creating this, and it kind of sucks to see that it all came down to money being the driving force behind our existence. And I think that humans are destined for more than that, but I would like to not be a man of the times. I would like to be a man of the I don't know, that's a pompous statement, so we're just gonna retract that. But yes, everyone should be able to achieve, or at least be able to try to achieve what they want in life. And how we have that if we don't have a place to live? Thanks for listening, kids. I guess that's all.